American scholars, and it is National Hamburger Day. That looks really good, that picture. Today we're going to be able to explain the reasons for the age of exploration. So we'll have a quick do now, some notes, guided practice, and independent practice. All right, so you want to pause your video for the do now. They are review questions. These two questions go with this map, and then this one's on its own. All right, so which aspect of geography is the primary focus? Humans interacting. We know that because it's about trade. And based on this map, which statement is true of trade routes? We know that trade took place over a network of lands and sea routes. So we see land routes, water routes, and it's all over the place. And then a major reason the Renaissance began in the Italian city-states was their location on the Mediterranean Sea. All right, we have 4 words today. Our first word is cartography. This is the art and science of map making. We have longitude, which is a measure of how far east or west a place on Earth is from the North and South Pole. And latitude is a measure of how far north or south a place is based off the equator. And then a caravel is a light sailing ship that is easy to maneuver and can sail in shallow water. So go ahead and pause and finish getting those notes down. And then our 3 motivations, the main motivations for exploring, which we're going to talk about, and you should be filling this in because this is super important. I call it the 3 G's: gold, God, and glory. So wealth, spreading Christianity, and just to become famous and have that glory of knowing that you discovered something. This is the layout of a caravel, so you can see how it's broken down and how it would look, and the main components of the caravel. So you can look at that. You can pause if you want. So we're going to go ahead and get started with guided practice. Mostly a lot of listing today because I want you to really just take out really good chunks of main ideas. So, why did Europeans exploration begin to flourish in the 1400s? 2 main reasons stand out. First, Europeans of this time had several motives, and second, advances in knowledge and technology made voyages possible. For early explorers, one of the main motives for exploration was the desire to find new trade routes to Asia. By the 1400s, merchants and crusaders had brought many goods to Europe from Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Demand for these goods increased the desire for trade. Europeans were especially interested in spices. They had learned to use spices to help preserve food during winter and to cover up the taste of food that was no longer fresh. Trade with the East, however, was expensive and difficult. Muslims and Italians controlled the flow of trade. Muslim traders carried goods to the east coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Italian merchants then brought the goods to Europe. Problems arose when Muslim rulers sometimes closed the trade routes from Asia to Europe. Also, the goods went through many hands, and each trading party raised their price. European monarchs and merchants wanted to break the hold that Muslims and Italians had on trade. One way to do so was to find a sea route to Asia. Portuguese sailors looked for a route that went around Africa. Christopher Columbus tried to reach Asia by sailing west across the Atlantic. So our first question for guided practice is, why were the Europeans so interested in finding a new trade route to Asia? And you do not need complete sentences, you can just list it. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, our 2 reasons were spices. I saw that here in paragraph 3. And 2, to break the hold Italy and Muslims had on trade and goods from the East. And I found that way down here. So go ahead and pause and get that down. Other motives also came into play. Many people were excited by the opportunity for new knowledge. Explorers saw the chance to earn faith and glory as well as wealth. Some craved adventure. As new lands were discovered, nations wanted to claim the land's riches for themselves. A final motive for exploration was the desire to spread Christianity. As you learned in Unit 7, both Protestant and Catholic nations were eager to make new converts. Missionaries followed the path blazed by explorers, sometimes using force to bring native peoples into their faiths. So what were 3 more motives for exploration based off of this slide? So go ahead and pause the video and get those down, and then we'll go over it. that. Someone came into the workroom. We have knowledge, wealth and fame, and the spread of Christianity. We see knowledge here, wealth and fame here, and then the spread of Christianity here. So go ahead and pause and get that down. For independent practice, you're going to be reading about advances in knowledge and tech. Again, mostly just listening. We're working with cause and effect on this particular slide. What were 3 more advances in tech for explorers? And then why were these advances beneficial? So I gave you a big box for this, so this should not be like a 1-sentence answer. And then you have the rest of your independent practice on quizzes. It's called Age of Exploration. It's 9 or 10 multiple choice questions. That's all I've got, and I will see you guys on Tuesday because we don't have school on Monday. All right. Have a wonderful long weekend.